Hey, hey, what can I do? Led Zeppelin. And this song was never on a Led Zeppelin album. This was an outtake from the Led Zeppelin 3 recording sessions in 1970. And I don't think it was officially released on anything until a box set, I think, in the early 1990s. But I've been listening to this song since the mid-1980s. And I'll tell you the story. So there used to be a radio station here in the New York area called WNEW 1027. That's the station I grew up listening to for all the classic rock stuff of the day. And somebody got their hands on a copy of this and played it on the radio. And luckily for me, as I would do back in those days, I'd have my little boom box, a tape recorder, and they announced what it was going to be that they were about to play, and I hit record, and I've been listening to that song since 1985. I only just recently learned the bass part to it, which, you know, it's always been, to my ear, one of the more adventurous John Paul Jones bass lines. And it's a real study and a showcase for how good these guys were at improvising. You know, I mean, they may not have been strict jazz musicians in that sense of the word, but they knew how to play musically just in the moment, you know. And we'll take a look at it today, and I'll show you what I think my breakdown of the line is. So what we're going to do is we'll talk about the chords, very simple harmonically. In the verse of the song, we just have these chords A, E, G, D. That's it. And then passing from that A, E to G, there's usually the same sort of pattern throughout the course of the song. Minor variations here and there, but generally he plays something like this. Okay, it's just basic root notes with just a little passing note on that F sharp. And, you know, if I look at it, let me see how many variations there are. Here's the first one on the first verse. Second one. Third one. All right, so very similar all the way through. Let's go to the second verse. Same as the first one. Next. Almost the same, slight variation. Next. Very similar to the second one. Okay, let's go to the third verse. This is the last verse. And okay, next. Okay, so that's the first real different one that we've had. Nice little melody that jumps out. And you see how he saved that till later in the song, right? Last one. So that's a variation on the one he just did before with the high D. And that's it, all right? Now, where the improvisation comes in is everything that happens on the D chord after he does the basic root. That's where a lot of the variations are for the verses, okay? So let's take a look at what he does there. And every time what I'll do is I'll play the D note that's on beat 4 of the first measure, and then whatever the variation is. So that's the first one. He's going to use that one quite a bit. Let's go to the second one. Okay, so a bit of the pentatonic scale in there, right? But you see he's getting a little bit busier. Here's the next one. That was the same as the first one. Okay, and then each time to end the verse, we do this little just straight down A, E over G sharp, F sharp minor, D. And it takes us to the chorus. But let's go to the second verse, and I want to continue with those D variations. So here we go. First time on the second verse. That's that recurring theme he does quite a bit. Here's the next one. Now that's a nice one because it's pretty active, but he's also doubling the guitar. And I wonder if that happened first with the bass, and then Jimmy Page might have overdubbed it to fit, or vice versa. I don't know. Maybe they were just in sync that way. Could be. Let's go over that one again. And so we got that A sort of major pentatonic with the blues C natural note in it too. Pretty cool. Next one. That same theme again. Okay, we'll go to the last verse and same one again. Next one. This is after he does this one. So again, that kind of pentatonic blues thing. Last one. So you see the D pentatonic there. Okay, and that's all the verses. So those are the variations he had there on the D chord. Let's talk about the choruses. All right, so the chorus harmony is just A, G, D. That's the guitar strum. And he plays the A to G to D pretty much the same every time. We've got, and then a variation. Let's see if there's any differences. Just very slight. Basically, it's just that. Once again, here comes the improvisation on the D stuff. So here we go from the first chorus. More of that blues kind of lick thing. Really just hammering home that A note. And you know, another thing I should mention is that if you really listen to the track, you could tell that him and John Bonham are just in lockstep formation on all those fills and things. Bonham, sometimes it sounds like he's following John Paul Jones. Sometimes Jones sounds like he's following Bonham. And especially towards the end of the song, where they're just riding out the chorus, there's really all kinds of great little interplay between the drum fills and the bass fills to match rhythmically. So let's keep going with the next part of the chorus. Okay, so more D pentatonic. But you see, like, even though it's from the same basic note choices, all those little melodic and rhythmic variations. It's great. Let's see. So you get a little bit of that chromatic sort of thing going on. The F, G, F sharp, G, G sharp, A kind of thing. Okay. Let's go to the second chorus. That's the same one that he just did on the first chorus. Okay, that's an unusual one. So you see now, he had been going high, now he goes low. And let's take a look at what that actually is. So he's trying to get to that A triad there, and he's getting there with that sort of walk up, you know, that chromatic thing that's pretty common. But look how he kind of fits it in. You know, he kind of stutter steps it a little bit. He doesn't just go straight up. He kind of comes back and forth and then finally gets to it. Okay, next one. That one again. Okay, so, and you know, this type of move, that root fifth octave thing, right? John Paul Jones, especially early on with Zeppelin on the first few albums, he's the king of that sort of thing. And that really is a James Jamerson lick. And John Paul Jones was known, you know, in his studio session days in England before Led Zeppelin as like the British Jamerson, you know, because he knew how to play that sort of Motown type of style. And it's evident when you hear him play finger style in this type of thing where he can, really showcase that vocabulary. All right, let's keep going. Next chorus. Right, similar to the other ones. Okay, so a little bit of right, that it's like a fragmented pentatonic. All right, that's an interesting one. So we got so almost chromatic, but also with the pentatonic. All right. Now, you see, the thing is, while there are licks that are recurring and, we could see them, theory-wise what they are, but you see, like, I'm sure this was like a first take. And, by the way, I forgot to mention, if you listen to my performance section, you'll notice I was detuned to half step. Here I'm just tuned to A440. But on the original recording, it's lower in pitch, but not by a half step. It's a little more than a half step. And the story goes that this song was originally recorded at a faster tempo, and Page decided he didn't like the tempo, so he slowed the tape machine down. And I've read that, when you hear Bonham hit the cymbals when the band drops out and you hear that cymbal decay, you can kind of hear how it's not really a natural sort of cymbal sound. It sounds a little artificial in a way, and that's because the tape is slower and you're not hearing the decay of the cymbals at normal speed. Now, that's interesting to me in the bass perspective because, this line is pretty intricate as is at this tempo. For him to be playing all that stuff right in the pocket with Bonham and everything and all the variations at a faster tempo, wow. I mean, that's pretty impressive. I mean, I know he's just going for it and improvising, but he's not making any mistakes. He's not playing any wrong notes, and he's not out of time anywhere. It's great. Masterful performance. I'm going to go to the last chorus. Let's wrap it up. So that's, again, that chromatic walk-up thing, but like sort of stutter step. So again, like a D triad, but from low. And then just finally, like just some straight eighth notes on the D pentatonic there, like that. Yeah, and that's one of the ones he does with Bonham in syncopation like that. So really targeting that high D. So, there you go. That's a little bit of my take on John Paul Jones' bass line, Hey, Hey, What Can I Do? I hope you enjoyed the breakdown, and if you did, please consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching.